dividends in the present or paying an increased dividend at a later stage. While in dividend policy is the policy a company uses to structure its dividend payout to shareholders, and this is a dividend irrelevance theory that refers to the dividend payout mainly affect the stock price. Where there are four main types of dividend policy: the first, regular dividend policy, and second, irregular dividend policy. And if we discuss about the third one type of dividend policy, third one type of dividend policy is stable dividend policy, and last one, dividend policy, no dividend policy, where the stable dividend policy is further divided into per share constant dividend, like payout ratio constant, stable dividend plus extra dividend. And in dividend policy, we discuss about the term dividend refers to that portion of profit which is distributed among the owner or stakeholders of the firm, where a dividend is the distribution profit of a corporation to its shareholder when a corporation earns a profit or surplus. Then it is able to pay a portion of the profit as a dividend to the shareholders. Where in dividend policy, any amount not distributed is taken to be reinvested in the business, which is called a retained earning in dividend. While if we introduce the dividend policy of a firm determines what proportion of earning is paid to shareholders by way of dividends and what portion is prolonged back in the firm for reinvestment purpose. And in higher dividend payment will call for the greater dependence or external financing. And dividend policy has bearing on the choice of financing, and firm capital budgeting decision is dependent on the dividend decisions, and a higher dividend payment will cause shrinkage of its capital budget and other things, where dividend policy has a bearing on the capital budgeting decisions in the dividend portion. While dividend policy refers to the policy that the management formulates in regards to earning for distribution as dividend among shareholders, and it is merely concerned with the dividends to be paid in 1 year, but is concerned with the continuous course of action to be followed over the period of several years. And the factors which are affecting dividend policy is ownership consideration, and the second one is firm oriented consideration. And if we discuss about the third one, affecting dividend policy factor is nature of business and attitudes and objectives of management, while composition of the shareholding, and also we use investment opportunities as a factors affecting dividend policy, and desire for financial solvency and liquidity, while regularity is also a factor of which affecting dividend policy, and restrictions by financial institution, inflation. And while there are many other factors which affect dividend policy, the first one is age of the company, how much longer the age of the company which work in any sectors or any country, and the demands for capital expenditure where money supplies, and traditions are the other factors which affecting dividend policy of any company. While the goal of the dividend policy should be analyzed in terms of its effect on the value of the company and investment of the company, his new profitable opportunities creates value, and when a company forgoes an investment or attractive investment among shareholders, incur an opportunity loss for the shareholder. While in dividend, investment and financing decisions are interdependent, and there is often a trade-off, and dividend decisions should not be treated as a short run residual decisions. And goal of dividend policy, we also discuss about a workable compromise is to treat dividends as a long run residual to avoid undesirable variations in payout, and this needs financial planning over a fairly long term horizons. And dividend policy should be communicated clearly to investors who may then take their decision in terms of their own preferences and needs in dividend policy. While when we discuss about the types of dividend policy, the first one dividend policy type is on the basis of company journal perspective. And the second one type of dividend policy is on the basis of research study. And the third one type of dividend policy is on the basis of stability of dividend, where the first one type of dividend policies on the basis of company general perspective. While we discuss about the company general perspectives, whether dividend should be paid right from the initial year of operations, which is for example regular dividends. And the second one basis of company general perspectives is whether equal amount or fixed percentage of dividend to be paid every year irrespective of the quantum of earnings in case of preference shares in a stable dividend, while in a fixed payout ratio we use a fixed percentage of total earnings be paid as dividend, which would mean varying amount of dividend per share every year depending on the quantum of earnings and number of ordinary shares in the year. And the fourth one and last one, basis of company general perspective, is whether the dividend be paid in cash or in the form of shares of other companies held by it or by converting accumulated retained earnings into bonus shares. That is property dividend and bonus share dividends, which are used as a basis of company general perspective. And the second one type of dividend policies on the basis of research study. If we discuss about the basis of research study, nature of industry should be whether industry belongs to electrical, chemical, fertilizers, FMCS, automobiles, pharmaceuticals, textiles. A research study classified dividend policy into three main types. And the three main types are, the first one type is generous dividend policy. And the second one is more or less fixed dividend policy, and erected dividend policy are also used as the basis of research study as a type of dividend policy. And the third one type of dividend policy is on the basis of stability of dividends. If we discuss about the stability of dividends, stable dividend per share, stable percentage of net earnings, stable repeat dividend plus extra dividend. Dividends as a fixed percentage of market value is also used as a stability of dividend in type of dividend policy. And the advantage of dividend policy are the payment of dividends to the shareholder is ensured irrespective of the earnings of the company, and it is beneficial to those investors who expect regulatory in income on their investment to meet the expenses is the second one advantage of dividend policy. And what are the main disadvantage? The first one disadvantage is adverse effect on financial stability of the firm cannot be considered easily by changing the stable dividend policy. And if the company fails to pay dividends constantly in any year, that shows the weakness of the company in maintaining stability is the disadvantage of dividend policy. And when we discuss about the form of dividends, dividend originally is a distribution of profits earned by a joint stock company among its shareholders. And dividends are paid in cash, but there are also other forms such as scrip dividend, debenture dividend, stock dividend, and in any unusual circumstances, property dividends are also used as a form of dividend. And there are many briefly described below these forms which are used as a dividend, like scrip dividend, bond dividend, property dividend, cash dividend, debenture dividend, bonus share or stock dividends, cash dividends, and share dividends. These all are used as a form of dividend. And what are the main reasons for issuing bonus shares? When we discuss about the reasons of issuing shares, the bonus issue tends to bring the market price per share within a more reasonable range, and it increases the number of outstanding shares This promotes more active trading. And the third one reason of issuing bonus share is the nominal rate of dividend tends to decline. This may dispel the impression of profiting, and share capital base increases on the basis of company may achieve a more speculator size of eyes of the investor company, and shareholders regard a bonus issue as a strong indication that the prospects of the company have brightened and they can reasonably look for an increase in total dividends, and it improves the prospects of the raising additional funds for the issuing of bonus shares. And the merits of stock dividends or bonus share to the company and to the shareholders. The merits for the company is results is more prolonging or back of profits, and to the shareholder not subject to income tax. And when we discuss about the company merits for of stockholder and bonus share helps in financing for modernization and expansion programs, while for shareholder results in large amount of dividend, and for the company stabilize future dividends, and for the shareholders can be realized in case of necessity, and for the company it reduce under capitalizations, and for the shareholder association with the company is increased. And the fifth one point for the company merit is helps in maintain of liquid position, while increases demand for the shares of investor for the shareholder, and widens marketability of companies share with reduction in the market price of shares, while for the shareholder rise in the wealth of investor is used as a merit of stock dividend and bonus share. And what are the main limitation of stock dividend? When we discuss about the limitation of stock dividend for the company and for the shareholder or investor, to the company it curbs entry to the new shareholders, and for the shareholder or investor it disappoints the investor who expect to receive cash dividend, and for the company increases the liability of the company of future dividend, and for the shareholder fall in the market price of existing shares, and for the company results in over capitalization, and for the shareholder or investor earning per share will fall as the increase in number of shares, while share split means a share split is a method to increase the number of outstanding through a proportional reduction in the par value of the share. And a share split affects only the par value and the total number of outstanding shares. The shareholders' total funds remains unaltered, while the primary motives of the to make shares seem more affordable to small investor, even though the underlying value of the company has not changed in the share split, while a reserve split means under the situation of falling price of the company shares, the company may want to reduce the number of outstanding shares to prop up the or to increase up the market price per share, while the reduction of the number of outstanding shares by increasing the per share value is known as a reverse split. It's also used for the reverse split. And the last one is stock repurchase. Stock repurchase means it is actually the repurchase of its own share by a company to return surplus cash to shareholders as an alternative to a higher dividend payment or investing of the surplus in the existing or new operation. Here, the things which are used in dividend policy and form of dividend policy, which we discuss in this lecture.